So Sandy and I moved here from Boston, and when we got here, we decided that we would start looking for a new home. We came to the conclusion that the amount of money we were going to spend on a brand new home, we could potentially maybe build a house. And by building a house, we'd get more of what we wanted, as opposed to buying something that didn't have everything that we wanted, but still would cost a certain amount of money. So once we realized that, we decided that we would custom build a home, and at that point we started the search for a builder. My name is Jeff Peters.
I'm Sandy Peters.
And we had a house built by Vincent Longo Builders.
I was working with a decorator to help me find finishes and pick those out for the house, like, sinks, that kind of thing. And we thought we had a builder lined up. And once we started to meet with him, it became pretty apparent that it probably wasn't going to work out. So we didn't go forward with that builder. But I still had this decorator person I was working with, and he said, I've got another client and they love their builder. What if you go down and just talk with them? So I said, okay. So one morning he called me and he said, I wanted to let you know that Vince is actually at the house of the client that I'm working with, if you want to come down and talk to him. So he showed me around the house, and it looked gorgeous, and the subs were there, and he was working with them, and I thought, I like this. He seems very hands-on, he's accountable, and he has a good handle on what his subs are doing. So Jeff was out of town, so I immediately got in the car and called him and go, I think I found our builder. And we had.
When we had many conversations at the front end of working with Vince, we had mentioned to him that we had a budget. And when we told him we had a budget, he was very willing to give us great recommendations that would be within our budget. But he wasn't going to sacrifice quality at all. And then as we got into the process, he started to always tell us, this is what I think it's going to cost. I can't think of very many examples of where he wasn't almost very precise,
yeah.
Spot on how much things were going to cost. So it helped us maintain our budget that we were trying to adhere to as we built this new home.
Vince has an excellent eye for detail and finishes and what an overall product will look like. And I remember we wanted to put these beams in here and in the kitchen, and I initially wanted them to go across the ceiling in the kitchen. And he said, I just want to bring something to your attention. If we do that, it's going to make the room look smaller. So he came up with the idea to basically frame the entrance from the kitchen into the keeping room, and it was perfect. He did the same thing in here, because initially we thought we'd be using a lot more beams. But he gave us recommendations like that all the time, because he understood what we wanted, and he just has so many creative ideas.
My favorite part is we have a covered porch, and it's just a really comfortable spot to be. We have a fireplace out there, and we put a retractable screen in there. So it's almost like become an extra part of the house.
I love the kitchen. I think Vince, he also had a vision of what I wanted, so his insight and his perspective was so important, and it really turned out exactly the way I had wanted. I had been carrying a picture around for years that I had gotten out of a magazine of a kitchen that I loved, and it looks like that kitchen, and I'm so happy with it.
I think Sandy and I wanted to have a home that when we invited people over, it had a warm feel to it, and it wasn't too stuffy. And so when we have people that we can share our house with, and we don't have to get dressed up, we can just take our shoes off, sit down in the family room, sit down in the kitchen, and just enjoy each other. And that's what this house has meant to us, is it's a comfortable house, and it's exactly what we wanted.